What's up guys, Justin here with the realtimeessentials.com. So in today's video we're going to check out the improvements to Quixel Bridge inside of Unreal Engine 5. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so first off, remember this is only going to work in the preview version of Unreal Engine 5 and above. So if you have Unreal Engine 4, this obviously isn't going to work. And so what's super exciting about this new version is that you can now access your Quixel assets, your Megascans assets, directly inside of Unreal Engine 5. So if you remember previously, what you had to do is you had to open up the Quixel app like this. So you had to download it and install it, and then there were a whole bunch of export settings that you had to set up right here, and then you had to export them separately from Bridge. Well, now you no longer have to do that because you can access that directly inside of Unreal Engine. So the way that you can do that is there's a button right here for quickly add to the project. There's an option in here for Quixel Bridge. And so now what that's going to allow you to do is that's going to allow you to open this directly inside of Unreal Engine. So that's going to open up the Quixel Bridge page. And so now you've got this browser directly inside of Unreal Engine. What that means is you no longer need to use Bridge in order to get these assets into Unreal Engine, or the separate Bridge app anyway. So one thing to note about this is working as a window in here, but you can also click and drag your tab onto your screen. Notice how when you do that, it gives you these different docking locations in here. So if I select the left-hand side of my screen right here, what that's going to do is that's going to dock this on the left. So now let's take a look at how we can bring in some of these different assets. So for example, let's say that we were to pick a collection. So I'm going to click on a collection right here, and let's just pick, we're just going to pick the industrial barrels. That sounds fun. So this is their collection of industrial barrels, and what I want to do is I want to bring this into Unreal Engine. And so all I have to do in order to do that is just click and drag an asset into my scene right here. What that's going to do is that's going to import a low poly proxy asset into your scene, while it also downloads that asset over here. So notice how now it says downloading. So what it's doing is it's created this as a proxy for right now, and it's also downloading the full detailed model. So notice how it's loading that in with more detail as it gets it downloaded. So you basically get immediate access to your assets inside of Unreal Engine. And it's still downloading the more detailed stuff, but this is a super fast way to get your stuff inside of your scene. And so notice how if you click on this object right here, it's going to give you access to the information about the object. So right now, for example, it's telling you that it's downloading the object. You can also set the quality at which you download it by clicking the drop down right here and selecting these. So you can download low quality all the way up through nanite quality. Obviously the nanite quality is going to be the super high resolution stuff. And so notice how when this is done downloading, it's going to automatically load in your higher resolution object. So we're going to let this finish. And notice how this automatically swaps that out. So this has like the maps applied and everything else in order to create a really realistic object. And so notice how you can also drag materials into your scene. So let's say I wanted to bring this artificial grass in like this. If I drag this material in, it's going to do the same thing where it's going to download it in the background. It's going to apply this proxy material, and then as it gets the higher quality material downloaded, it's going to apply that to this object. Well, then you're going to have access to that for future locations as well. One thing to note about this is if you do a control space, that's going to pop up your content drawer. That's where your content is going to be. So similar to the way that we've done this before, but if you look in the Megascans folder, you can see the objects that you've downloaded into this scene. So for example, if I wanted to drag another one of these, barrels in here, I could do that from that folder. So your 3D materials are going to be in here under the surfaces function as well. So you can access all of these as well and apply them really quickly. So if I was to drag this on my surface, for example, then that's going to apply this material to this surface. And so notice how there's another option here for apply to selection. What that's going to allow us to do is when we download a material like this one, it's going to allow us to click the add button, and that's going to let us add that material automatically to whatever we have selected. So I do think that you still have to click on the add button in order to do this, but it allows you to quickly apply those materials without having to jump into your content browser and actually find them, or your content drawer. So now that it's downloaded, I can just click on the add button right here, and that's going to apply that to this selection. And notice how these materials do come in with all the different maps set up and everything like that. So real quick, easy way to add materials and objects to Unreal Engine. So they're also showing on the overall bridge video that you can create a blend material where materials blend between, I think up to 3 different materials. So you can create a material where you kind of like blend together, like this one does like cracks and water and stuff like that. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, so we can talk about that more in the future, but that is another cool feature that I'm super interested in getting into on the channel. All right, so to me, this is a massive upgrade in the way that you use Bridge. I'm super excited for the Unreal Engine 5 official release whenever that comes out, but I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this implementation? Is there anything you'd like to see a little bit better, or do you really like it? I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.